No, no! No! Are you listening?
Sean from Middle Grounded. I wanted to talk about a scary moment I had forgotten about until earlier this morning, and then last night I heard it. I had to go back and listen to it because I wanted to hear his voice. Lorne Armstrong is a rage monster. We know this. We know he's dramatic. We know he threatens a lot. He threatens to leave these women all of the time, but he never does. And that's not necessarily what I want to discuss. I mean, he is pathetic. But this moment, he was hiding in the woods because I guess some people drove by his house, which is kind of messed up. I'll give him that. But then Winnie told him she called the cops, so he hid even deeper in the woods. I don't know the backstory, but I would imagine with Lorne, no matter what he says, it was because he was drinking and they might have discovered he was drinking, which is typical Lorne. Do whatever you can not to get in trouble. And when you get in trouble, lie again. He said something that was disturbing, that a psychopath might say. If he was talking tough, I want to beat the crap out of those people, whoever they were, pulling up to my house, or I grab a baseball bat and start handling my business. But that's not what Lorne said. And this may not seem like much, and Lorne is 87, and he probably doesn't even know how to threaten people correctly, because he talked about, I got a knife in the kitchen. He said that previously in another call to Winnie, talking about her security, that he had a knife in the kitchen. Not a baseball bat, nothing else, but a knife. And in this particular call, he said, if they show up again, I want to shove a knife down their throat. Who says that? That is a foreign object used for murder, that he's talking about shoving down an orifice. That is a trait of a psychopath. That is a violent way to die. That's a scary way to die. And it's scary that somebody would think of killing somebody in that manner. Now, yes, it was a threat, but that's where his mind went. And he wasn't even enraged, and I don't even think he was drunk at the time. I think that was frustration. I don't think it was fear, because sometimes when people are scared, they'll say some over-the-top things to make themselves feel better. But I don't think I've ever said, I'd like to take a knife and shove it down someone's throat. That's the second or third time Mr. Penis has made a comment about using a knife on someone. Maybe a baseball bat to make it clobber in time. Boom, boom. Think about the worst thing you've ever said you're going to do to somebody. Light poop on their doorstep, egg their car, beat the crap out of them. We know how angry he gets and that he would keep somebody a prisoner. We know this. We know he's a groomer and a pedophile. We know he throws things. He's talked about spanking, which is beating his dogs. He beats up Roy, threatens Roy. He pushed Tony Pharma, who was supposedly disabled, down on the ground. He's violent. He responds to everything with anger. So to hear somebody like that say, I want to take a knife and shove it down their throat, is truly frightening. If I was a woman and I heard this rage monster say that he was going to do something like that, I'd question, you're going to shove a knife down their throat. Think of how horrible that is. Luckily, he will never get a woman unless it's in some kind of RSO class and they meet there, or it's in church, or it's at a place where it's like a family get together, and well, he might date his cousin because he thought Ramona was going to bang her cousin. But at family get together where they're like, this is a family friend, or someone like a woman that was desperate for a place to stay, that needed some kind of shelter and food. And even though Lorne doesn't have a lot, he has something which would be ideal for her. If I were you and I knew somebody who was that psycho, I would flee immediately. I wouldn't stick around. I wouldn't talk to them anymore. I would change my number, block them, because that's just not something anyone should say. I think he's got some real issues, underlying issues. It could be the years of catfishing. It could be that he's still a virgin. A lot of rage comes up in sexually repressed people. I think he will always be a predator. And I think he will be a violent person. I don't think that will change. I think if he perceives somebody as weaker or perceives them as an easy target, that is what he's going to do. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on this Cornville crazy, the Nashville maniac. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to get some content out. It's a Friday. I hope your days go quickly. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.